and welcome to my live stream. This is the first of its kind, first live streaming, and we are going to do live stream every weekend just to capture pressing issues related to development of this country, Papua New Guinea, and probably some of the issues also concerning our neighbors, Pacific Islands, and also the world. Well, if you're new to this channel, thank you so much. You can subscribe and follow for more videos. I've also put a couple of videos before this live stream. You can go and check it out. And it's all regarding development concerns in this great nation, Papua New Guinea. Now, before we continue, every week this sort of videos will be talking about issues in the past week, and then we're gonna sum up those issues every weekend. Now, as you all know, those of you who are in living in Papua New Guinea, and probably watching abroad from news and different media channel uh, to know what's happening in this country. Um, yeah, it is a very challenging time that we live in now, and there's so many challenges happening across our country, and one of which in particular is the challenges, the rise of law and order problems in this country, especially law and order problem caused by young people, male especially young men in this society. So before we go through law this slide, I mean like touching one the main something I'm also you can check the link below. I will put a couple of videos links underneath. It talks about the young people and different age groups, and when there's something is a cosimo come up is like no problem. But I think that young people are the drivers of this country. They can be seen as the spine of this country. They can be a leader in a society, in a sporting group or church. Young people have so much potential to offer to this country, and we can agree or disagree that they are not always the problem. They can be they can be seen as the solution. They can be seen as the drivers of the solution. There's a trend going around that young people throughout this country are now saying, "Be the change you want to see." So they always say that. So for me personally, I believe that change should start from me. I should initiate change. I should be the change, and my friends or my neighbors can see the change in me, and they too can become the change person. So change starts with one and influence many. If you don't believe in change, if you talk about change, and if you want to see change, change has to start from you individually. We have to be the agent of change. We have to be the vessel of change. We have to make change happen for ourselves. If we can make change happen for ourselves, then we can be able to influence others to change. If we cannot change certain things about our life, and we continue to whine and complain about issues around us, we cannot go anywhere and we cannot make any difference. The difference starts with you, difference starts with me. So we need to make change, and change needs to happen in this country, and it has to start from you, it has to start from me. Everybody must be part and parcel of change. They must take ownership of change and try to bring change to their household, their community, their family, and wherever they go in the organizations. Now, so to continue on that, there are a few things that I want to highlight. Yes, of course, you can say, and we can always blame people, because there's something that if we are good at is blaming people about our problems. And I believe that I think 80% of our problems are caused by ourselves and not others. And we kept blaming people about our problems. And the recent rise of law and order issue in this country is caused by young people. And first of all, you have to see that where are these young people from? Where do they come from to begin with? Where do they live? Where do they sleep? Where do they eat? Who houses them and who clothed them and who provide for them? Who talk to them every day? Who are the influences of these young people every day? They are human beings just like you and just like me. all this young man all gonna steal. I'm all man, pigini man, pigini Mary, one can also you know me. They live in the same place as you live. They breathe the same air. They wash. They are not from a different society. They are from the society that we live in. They come from where we come from. They live from where we live. They are from Papua New Guinea. They are from Port Moresby. They are from Poponreta. They are from Kavieng, Kimbe, Rabaul, Kokopo, Lei, Lihir. They are from Goroka, Hagen, Koilala, Central Province. They are from everywhere, every part of this country. And they are part of our society. They have a home, and they have a society. They have a village. They have a clan. They have a leader, they have a father, and they have a mother. They are human beings just like us. But what happened? What happened to them? What happened somewhere along the way? What happened to this life? And what happened to these young people? And now they are causing these problems everywhere. What really happened? Do you wonder? An innocent baby born into this world, shaped in the mother's womb for like 9 months, and then came out to a nice, beautiful looking baby with chubby cheeks, and we tend to cherish, and we tend to look after, and we tend to care for. And then after 16 years of our hard labor on looking after the baby, the child got up and walked out and stabbed someone to death. That simple, innocent baby, who spends 9 months in the mother's stomach and then comes out and then spend another 16 years raised by their parents. And after that, the baby decided to walk out and stab someone or murdered an innocent life. Just imagine. Now, there are a few things that I want to highlight. The key things that Miluki Molsem, we as a society need to be mindful of, and we as a society need to take heed of and implement it, because if we don't do something for our generation, this country is going to go lost. We're going to lose a lot of great minds, a lot of great young men and young women out there. They have the potential to be great implementers, great inventors, and great diplomats, great nation or statesmen for this country. But if we don't act now, we're going to lose a lot of human race of this country, because right now, as we speak, a lot of young men who have the potential to be great in the police force, who have the potential to be great in the defense force or CIS to enforce law and order, are actually on the street breaking those laws. Where is the opportunity? Where is the pipeline? Where is the opportunity for them to tap in? Anyway, this is something that we need to get our minds and heads around it. Now, very importantly, the first discipline of every person comes from the household. The first discipline comes from the household. It comes from the parents. It comes from the mother and the father. The mother and the father needs to uphold and instill discipline in the house. If they don't have discipline, these kids are going to go run around wild and cause a lot of problems to their neighbors. You have to uphold the standard. Kids need to be raised in a home that have. And welcome back. We have a little bit of a problem with our network, but we are back now. Thank you so much. I'm just tilting my camera. Hope we're back online. Yes, we are. Okay, so let's continue. So everyone has a home. Every young person, they come from a home. They come from a society, and they come from a family. And so if the parents don't instill discipline and values to the person or the young person, then they will not have respect for the society and community around them, and they will end up causing a lot of inconveniences and problems in the community. So the first number one thing is discipline start lo house. Now, papa na mama walk blow ipla lo disciplining or pikini. You give discipline or pikini, especially pikini man blow you line him lo pass him no respect him one plan narapla. Teach them the values, teach them the virtues of life, how to become a man, and the respect of society, those things. If you teach them how to behave and respect one another, they will uphold those discipline. Now, those discipline will start from the early age. You have to start disciplining your kids and teach them good values when they're like 10 years old, 4 years old, at the earliest is very important because they will grow up with those values. Back in the villages, like place blaming about in Papua New Guinea, we have this houseman culture where passing where all the young boys they go to houseman and female they go to places where there's female, and the mothers they teach them how to make clay pots and balloons, and sewing sago leaves for roofing, and the cooking different dishes, and how to look after pigs and look after their husband and children. The women go through those trainings, and they understand and they learn those things in the village. And men they go into houseman and house tambaran, or you call it wanik and houseman yemisagolan. They talk about values, how to be a man, to build house, make your own garden, and have respect for the elders, and have respect for men and women, and all those things. This like I know passing, they teach them in the village. They teach them in the village. But now when we come to in the cities areas now, you there are plenty of problems will come up because no matter orientation of family, the parents, the mothers and fathers are not teaching the kids right. They are not instilling values. They are not instilling values, and I understand that you can say that you are a city person. You move from the village to the city, finding job na kind of same, but the values of your village na passing custom na passing law, upholding community principle na sa village principle, must start the life blue. Melanation, you may got passing custom, you may got place, you may got connection. From time to time, you as a parent, you must instill him this values or piggy. Let him or piggy or line him some passing the place, custom the place. No one use him city or some excuse not of Mr. City. You have phones there. You can talk to older people. Sometimes you can fly your grandparents or your big aunties to come down to city and teach your young daughters or young men. Or sometimes you send your young men to the village for holidays, and that's how they learn the cultures and way of life the place. So discipline start the house. Discipline start the house. It is very important to uphold discipline in the house. Time you got discipline in the house now, or beginning but grow up on them. They won't bully kids at school. They will not swear at older people. Now they will see, or yambla or meriba lugumosum susana thingy mama blong. Those kind of respect there and lose finish the community because the first place lo house yet lo house dua papa na mama all na upholding this law something all na upholding discipline lo house. You as a father of the house must be in charge of the house. You must be in charge of the house and uphold discipline. If your son is not behaving well, discipline him. Suppose discipline him. Just imagine the son will go out and cause troubles and problems. Narapla line outside of society. You may start wrong. Now you look him now when something come up into the country now law or parts of the country now. It's because young people are ill-disciplined. They don't have values. The society loses now plenty of values because the first and place law or line in the house for papa and mama all no line in this or something. So that's the first place. That's where problem will come up from. Second, something we looking also causing some like get na loophole law kind of issues will come up and partly work the government and kind of some true law districts na koram LLGs. You miss one important part, and that's community policing. Community policing is a very important program. Now plus me looking at some sample family or uncles plumbing about or local joining community police lo trying lo balancing law and order challenges lo place because now I'm plenty influence going to the working all kind of one drug deals about na plenty of alcohols kind of some homemade beers now going to place now affecting the simple peaceful life all mama papa lo place now affected because the young boys and young kids are now getting influence under the all those brews na kind of spark brews na all start lo come up in all pagarapin lo community na sample plenty lo is lo young lo pigini and more pigini man lo sample lo mo pigini man lo town ya or come go place now influence him or pigini now kasem brata lo place lo start lo make him this like kind of something. The discipline starts from the home, and if you are not disciplining them, imagine 2 or 3 more beginning we all start to discipline 3 plus 4 plus all time will boom. I'm all come up with one unit. Now time will come up with unit, will come up in problem. So one big plus something now government need law, work strong law, come up with community policing. Community policing law, community is important. Now me looking law city, especially law must be noticed me looking community policing now and work come up or member work put in sample funding and support the community policing or youth work around the community. Now me look sample kind of control work come up. Me looking no place to work introducing community policing or village constables na try lo strong in magistrate lo place no councillors to work together lo strong in law and order issues lo place. Now this is like kind of something should come up kind of say 20 years ago, 30 years ago. I think me believe also time the independence come also ending come up. The structure in place, especially in the community come up also where people respective of the law and the police were around and they were now I'm no god. The crime too go aggressive straight, no police too go aggressive and they sometimes go beyond the call of duty belong they cause some things that was disturbing the society. The same goes to all the young people too. But now meeting also community policing is very important. We should have or we need to have community policing. Now issue come out lo data now those young people we're all going to hold up in one I'm private citizen lo place na lo town na holy mem na on broad daylight now or kissing or something and then later the no retaliation community start to search for them they all piney mall and then now they did eviction on that portion where all this all youth all stop long now if I ask him a question or say me talk first place yeah all youth stop long and come they have a home they have a village they have a family they have a society they have a mother they have a father now time problem come up now look him all go eviction or go away all go rouse him house to papa na mama now boy blame musad start them lo you supposed to put him on beginning blow you lo gupla discipline na controlling mo isla kind of passing and banana to come up the big plan national scale or provincial scale now I'm affecting plenty innocent lives in the community you start long so it is very important now community policy and mambla gupla something because emba putting all youth in order na by looking more something you say supposed to got community policy now I'm no reminder community policy no community or local police constable and style of community it's they're providing a reminder when you see them it reminds you that oh I need to do this I need to be this person I need to make him something kind of sema suppose you looking at community policy and stuff by no police no law and order so people are creating this as a sense of awareness that there's laws and you have to abide by the law of this country and respect one another. That's the main function of police community policing, but also law upholding law and order na working some arrest or helping on police law working on work law in the community. Now, me looking more something me discussing long. There are so many things me writing around learn. I promise that we're gonna take at least an hour to dive into all those things. Now something me looking me also all youths too all no engage law plenty activity law community all stop long. Or stop nothing passing time. If you are the young minds are very, very, very challenging. Their minds are working every day, they're thinking don't stop every day, and they have a lot of things going on. You need to make them busy. Or young people, their minds are very, very active. Now, suppose keep him more busy one plus something, all but start low. Going to other things that are not productive and all but the community and society may start long. Now, one big plus something we look him now or church and working plenty gupla work. All make it plenty gupla work. All make it plenty gupla work because all start the community, the presence of church and all start the community, and they have programs, they have youth programs, they have health programs, education programs. Now, church you can talk plenty something, but church all stop na country balance. All stop na country balance. Because church is not just like all preaching talk that's all no God. The environment all creating, the presence all staff long and big plus something. Now program all come up in the time you look him also minchelo the community or say miss around na miss looking minchelo community. Kind of some time you look on the church building and start miss to Papa. I'm hope there. There's hope in the in this place because you see a church, you see a light, you see a way out, you see an open door. So challenge them also. Young people, you start places where you got churches start them. You have to find yourself and get engaged in the church activities. Go find him house lotuna. Go find him pastor. Bring yourself, go and learn few things. Church and something where straighten mind blow you, straighten belief blow you, na thinking blow you, na buy shirangut, and by keeping you in line. Plenty of gupla man Mary now sindano now come up successful businessman Mary or successful in whatever they are doing. Foundation the lifelong them start the house lotu. Good musicians, their foundation start the house lotu. So suppose you like engaging all young people, direct them go to church, direct them to go to a nearby church where they can find purpose and meaning and hope. All but start to engage in or group or productive something so that embarrassing or kind of passing no good, no thinking no good, no come up in bagarap or narapla man you start. So you may need to engage him or youths more. Church need to rise up. Government need to look somewhere, work the house lot to church, support him all. Church need to work together as well to engage in different areas, na different programs, lo, send him life, na passing lo, yambla man meri blame inside the community you may start na country blame. Na me looking also government too much look lo. All NGO all work in plenty group work, all work in plenty big work, plenty work mark where government them sa unsort them NGOs are coming say, plenty work mark where government them no sa working, or place where government no sa go, NGOs are go, kind of some the remote places, kind of say missing aviation fellowship, MAF them sa go place where all and the government balus the government no sa go them sa providing service, them sa carry marasin na, all kind of health equipment na. You think church na ministry all staff na country premium balance. Me can talk also now by me going 50 years. Without church, without NGOs, this country will not make it to 50 years. Yes, by me making, but by me got plenty challenge na plenty struggle. You must survey also. This country needing one plan up. So the government of this day must look strong, support him all serious. All church now NGO because all church na NGO all staff lo community all I na iyaw lo community all staff all RM all looking all feeling all scaling problem all staff all peeling pen one time community disaster come up lo way NGO na church also staff time die come up lo one up bagarap come up lo one up crisis come up NGO na church also staff bagarap lo community na bagarap lo man church na community sa staff church na NGO sa staff na government sa come behind. So government you must put him strong blow you now lo support him, engage him all, na support him all more church now all NGO lo come up him all work. You work partner one time all na work good one time all lo come up him all is something. Number 3 item ni like talk lo now lo that's the time you must start him also. Proper education system na pathway. Proper education system na pathway. Suppose you look lo education system blow me. Now plenty before lo now you may start plenty man also go grade 8 all fail, grade 6 all fail, grade 10 all fail, na grade 12 all fail. Now all fail also work one also go back lo place, tani cacao, cocoa, all stable place. At least all lily grade na right, na all working legally agriculture work na about na legally all work lo place na all staff na come up go plus down all come up more beginning when all beginning all come up man marine all staff lo leading this la country bring me. That's all now you may start long lo this la day and age from the millennial lo 2000 na early 90s come up all same. Plenty all young man Mary all fail lo school all go back in style community. Now work one lo community stop nothing no god use. Pinisim kai na atwork lo papa na mama all come up liability na all silid kirap nothing stop. Why? Because no god narap opportunity. If they fail. There is no other activity apart from that. There is no other opportunity. Me no talk also in no opportunity. Opportunity and staff suppose all work hard lo pining. That's all education system do you mean? I mean teaching you in a way that when you fail grade 8 or grade 9 or grade 10, you are a failure. For all this time of the years you may come along, many people consider him also, when I fail my grade 10 or when I fail my grade 12, I'm a failure. So this like I'm thinking and stuff. Even our parents or papa, mama blame me, or woman blame me too. All by calling me, I want a grade 10 dropout, I want a grade 12 dropout. And dropout name can start no place. So this like grade 10 dropout, na grade 12 dropout em kama so one pla trend em kama pimo so one pla kind culture na passing na lifestyle blow me. So time you me finish grade 10 na you me no working go grade 11 you me fail you me call you me to say you me drop out. So we end up in that balls of grade 10 dropout or grade 12 dropout. You me go na you me start na you me think say me drop out. So time you me come up say you me talk say you me drop out. And all get a couple of narabla ting lo come up narabla something and finish. You me come up drop out now you me start drop out now. So our mindset shifted. Mindset premium shift from trying to do something great to become a dropout. And when you become dropout, community baluglu na tokaya grade 10 man I fail na start blouse. Grade 12 man I fail na start blouse. But you got some Lasavelo counting 1 to 3 stuff. You got some Lasavelo writing letter stuff. You got some Lasavelo discuss English 2 stuff. But just because people are saying you are a failure, you are a dropout, you decide to be and act like one, and you decided to start the house. So that's the trend and that's the mentality where plenty of young man married before now start the 20s long. They were facing that in their early 30s now. So, this is a very challenging situation you may start long now. All still thinking even now they're becoming liabilities. All not don't logo because they thought that they are failures. And when they thought that they are failures, they try to do something they can help themselves. But because society see them as failures, they try to do things the opposite way to become successful. And so they went and they start to steal and do the negative thing. They try to do a lot of negative things to make a positive ends meet the life longer. But the more negative will make him start causing a lot of problems. Now challenge community long now even the families too are affected because of their negative passing or working on. They thought that they are going to do a lot of negative to channel positivity into their life, meaning that Bami go steal, Bami make him business, Bami make some money, Bami make him business, Bami make him kaika, now Bami come, now Bami improve him life, Blomi. They are doing it for a short period of time, but in the long period of time, their negativity will start to affect their life, their communities, and the surrounding, and the neighbors, and the community and the society will start blooming. Just imagine if 10 or 20 of these young people are doing the same exact thing, you will see how the community will react and how the community will tumble down. Because a lot of bad things are happening in the community and suffocate when bagarap na tuta can pass along, so that the community cannot thrive, the village cannot rise above all these things because so many things are negative and less positive. So you must try to put in positive into the community blaming. You must stand in Mr. Channel and start making gupla something the community blaming. So me looking at some government now, or NGOs now must need to look this education system. We need to have an education system that support pathways, not just grade 1 to 12. The education system need to support pathways like TVET systems, like only to put more TVET in place now, or put more TVET start. But 10 years ago, 15 years ago, no got TVET. Now I'll put him on scholarship setups, now programs where for them come inside. But before no got. Now me commending this la government now working this la, but they need to do more. Establishing FOD is just another thing. Establishing TVET is just another thing. They need to incorporate sports scholarship into that now. All man, beginning. All can read and write, but also brain blongo, think blongo, clear too much, plenty or something academically. But they are good at business, they are good at carpentry, they are good at sports, they are good at music. So all should incorporate in some curriculum said now, so that all beginning now all can look close. All school tas same time all work in some sports or some rugby or soccer or basketball, so that they get a scholarship, they improve their skills, they can earn a living or a different pathway through sports or even through music. Our government will need to work with different bodies to establish a good industry for music, so that those who cannot make it through school but they are good at music can earn a living through music. There's so many pathways that they need to instill, and those pathways need to come up into the school system. You cannot take those pathways out of the school system. It will not work, because when the kids are at school from grade 1 to grade 12, it's good that now the government is allowed, there are disadvantages and advantages of things, but one of the advantages now is that the government has allowed the kids to continue grade 1 to 12. Now that gives the opportunity for them to tap into other activities in the school that can help them to channel and move to that path, because not all of them are academically brilliant. Plenty blaming is a challenge, no thinking, scaling something. So if we are good at something else, and if it is introduced in the schools, then you can tap into this and we can channel and then become successful and actually build a career inside something. So the government should introduce sports and music scholarship also inside those schools. Not only that, but any other things like entrepreneurship. Also introduce entrepreneurship. Entrepreneurship should become part of the curriculum. It's supposed to become a program, but not only just in the books and the tests that they do, but it's supposed to become a pathway in the school. So when they finish grade 12, they should submit the business idea. They should have a business idea submitted, and we should have a funding to support and fund those business ideas, and an incubation, an SME incubation plugged to the schools. I understand there are so many SME incubation and programs starting SMEs outside of the school system, but it will be great, it will be a good thing to have an SME incubation in the education system, so that all picnic can adapt Guncelos education SME incubation grow this lab. We should have like arts and craft built into the education system. Some are good at painting, they are good at arts, though they are not academically bright, but they can do other things practical. So we should build all those practical and realistic things into the education system. If they cannot make it to tertiary institution, they can choose another path that will eventually make them become successful and add value to this country as a whole. We need to think of that as well. Now that's something we look at. The school need to really partner with the church. I understand the schools are having RE programs in schools where the pastor goes in and preaches for a certain number of days and comes back. Now they need to have a pathway established, a church pathway program with the schools where they go and attend conferences, they go and attend events, conducted and funded by the school, and the government need to enhance that program further through the Department of Community, Youth Development and Religion. They need to work with the schools, education department, and keep this, because church is a body that has been there for ancient of days, hundred of years, since BC, before Christ and just after Christ. Church is the body that did a lot of great development in inventions, and a lot of technology, a lot of things happen is inspired through the church. Now church and staff, the government need to take hold of church. There are 7 churches functioning right now in the big churches like SDA, Catholic, United Church, Baptist, Salvation Army. Those big churches, they can do programs. Lutheran churches, they can do programs that can enhance the school system. So they need to partner with them. They need to partner, things like engineering programs, you plug it into the system. If they're bright kids, they get scholarships and they go out. I see a couple of them happening with the government now, all working, but we need to do more, and we need to do more for this country, because we are not doing enough for this country. The government is not doing enough. 50 years, we are not doing enough. We said we have a lot of, over the years, I've seen that on reports and on budgets that they've spent a lot of amounts of millions of kina to certain intervention programs and certain allocations to social development and justice and agriculture. But I don't really see the real outcome of it. When you try to create a nubla system, remember, I had pain, struggle, and we'll waste a lot of money for consultations and trials and reviews and all those things. Why not use what's been working for the longest period of time? The church has been here for a longer period of time. Even before independence, the church was here. The Catholic Church, the United Church, the SDA Church, the Lutheran Church. Use them. Find out what they have, what sort of infrastructure they need, and support them, fund them. They have the capacity, they have the manpower, they have the resources. Probably some of the resources are deteriorating, some of the infrastructure are in bad state now. Support them, fund them, empower them, then make them all work, and then they will enhance the country through the programs which already exist. Even NGOs, work with NGOs, partner with NGOs. NGOs are here, and their sole purpose and their sole mission is to enhance the life and improve living standard of people living in the country. Why we spend so much money on development agencies? Like government is trying to create agencies, small government agencies like communities and whatever, to try and fund programs. No, you are a regulatory body. You regulate things. Community development, you regulating programs. You don't go and fund and implement small programs. You fund the churches, you fund the NGOs and let them run the program. And you oversight and you provide report in the overall database, the overall report, Golo country. You don't have to go and invent a wheel. The wheel is already there. The churches are there. The CSOs are there. The communities are there. You just go and fund them. Identify the association and the key community leaders and the cooperatives and fund them and let them run the programs. Because we try to duplicate programs. We try to do the same things over and over again, and millions get to spend on unproductive things. Challenge now is that we need to see and identify who side work this la youth space, na community space, and a church space, who is doing work right now. Identify them, fund them, and support them, and let them do the job. Government, let's just support and fund them. No can go na duplicating a program, na go na spending money, na spending money, na spending money. How much per million you spending on intervention programs over and over and over, and the crime rate is still rising and rising. You need to start to look at programs. Fund City Mission programs. City Mission is a good program for young boys. Over the years, the crime rate low. Port Moresby has been decreased since 1993. Because of City Mission program. City Mission is a good program, a pathway program. You need to find out if the government, you are a government official, you're watching this video stuff, you need to go and inquire about City Mission. If you have any queries about City Mission, you can comment on the link below and I can send you all the details of City Mission program. Now, that's one of the things. Fund CSOs, fund NGOs, fund churches to implement social development programs. Maskilo duplicating our program, wasting time, wasting money, government services, people, but delay it. Those programs. Some of the time we have middlemen, and middlemen tend to feed a lot on that, and they are leeches in the government system. Don't duplicate what's already been there. Identify what's been there and support it, fund it, and make it work. Yeah. So the last and final thing Mila talk long is the recommendation to me is government, or semi-talk finish, the government need to create a funding mechanism with a database of all the CSOs in the country, all the churches in the country, all the NGOs in the country that are doing youth programs, health programs, education programs, agriculture programs that are empowering community and through different phases in different states or stuff. One something we got thinking talking government, you have the money, but you don't have the heart. CSOs, NGOs, and church, they don't have the money, but they have the heart to serve. So you give the money to the heart that is passionate about serving people, and you'll see a big difference. All you have to do is coordinate from the policy level, coordinate from the budgetary level, the supporting programs to the church, the community level. I met a good politician friend of mine a couple of years ago, and we talked about a lot of youth programs and community empowerment, social empowerment programs, and we worked together for a couple of programs. And one of the things that I spoke to him, and this is what he told me. I wish he is still in power. This is what he told me. This is what he said. From the government perspective and from the government level, we do the policies and we pass the budget. You guys are the implementers. On our level, we make sure we get the right policies in place and approve the right policies in place for implementation and get the budget appropriated for implementation. But to get on the ground and do the work, you are the ones doing the work, not us. You're the ones doing the work. So that's what he said. That's what he said. So I believe that government today must take heed of that. And he was not just an MP. He was a big figure in the previous government. He was one of the top leaders in the previous government. And if he can say that, then there's no excuse that those in power now, the government in power now, also know and understand that they need to empower the social entities to do their work. So we are here to stay, and this is our country. So Wantem Desla, thank you so much. Thank you so much for watching, and we hope that we've covered many things in this discussion, and I'm looking forward for another live stream as we talk about issues affecting our country. Thank you so much. I'm your host, and Johnson, and thank you so much for watching, and we shall meet again in another time to discuss more on the issues related to our country, the great nation of Papua New Guinea. Wandem Despla, good night, good night, good night, Biblogata. Continue to do great out there and continue to stand up right for your country. Cheers. Thank you so much. Good night, everybody. Okay.